Hi, Dave. It seemed inevitable, but is it nice to actually finally clinch it and and have that spot secured?
I mean, that's what you're after. That's step one for uh, the first step. You can't compete for the Stanley Cup unless you make the playoffs. So that's the first step. So we've accomplished that. We've got uh, 6 games left that we have to make sure we're playing and continue to build our team. But I give our guys credit. The goal was to make sure we're a playoff team, and that's what we've accomplished. Now we got to keep building.
This team has been pretty consistent. Basically, 10 games in from the season after
Mm-hmm.
that bit of a slow start. What have you seen from this club that kind of has brought that consistency to this team?
You know what? I really think there's a couple factors. One, our leadership. The leadership group with McDavid, Draisaitl, Nurse, Larson, and Nuge do a great job in that room. They continue to mature as top players, and they really drive that room. The Schmitty getting healthy and coming in and have a heck of a year for us. So our goaltending has been very solid. Um, the added depth this year has helped. Tyson Berry's played very well for us. So there's just a lot of factors that have our teams continue to build, and we've been able to continue to build in the win column.
Daniel Ninja Bowman, The Athletic.
Hi, Dave. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions here about Jesse Puljujärvi, and I know
Mm.
you really were trying to convince him last year to come back, or from the off season and whatnot. Can you explain that process and what you've got out of a player compared to maybe what your expectations were?
Well, Ken and I both talked about, I think when we first got here, we had hoped he would come back. He spent another year over there. I know a lot of teams called about him, but Ken wasn't going to just give him away. And this summer we had some conversations with him and his agent, and talked about what we were trying to accomplish here, and felt like his game has matured and he'd be a good fit for us. And ultimately, he came back. He was. I'm not sure how things went before here, but I know he's come in. He's played very well. He's fit in very well with our group. He's a big, strong guy. He plays the game hard. He's got good skill. His game has just continued to improve. And the biggest thing that he went over to Europe and played a couple of years there, and to come back and really adapt to the NHL game again, and really embrace the NHL game with competing in small spaces, competing in front of the net, the hard areas to play in. That's where he's at his best. So he's come back and he's been a very good player for us.
I was told that if you didn't know he played in Finland, you would have guessed he played in the AHL, just in the sense that he now goes right to the middle. He plays in the hard areas. Do you see that North American style game in him now? I know you didn't have him before, but maybe compared to some of the video or what you knew about him in the past.
Well, I watched more of the video I watched from him was when he was playing in Finland. So we played over here before. I watched some of it, but he was a young player just trying to learn the game, and he didn't speak the language. He's very young coming over to try to play an NHL game, and that's hard as a young player. It's hard for anybody, let alone top picks. I mean, there's it's a hard transition, and so the maturity he's come back with, and he recognizes how he has to play to be successful over here, and that shows the maturity that he has in his game.
Christian Gregor, TSN 1260.
Dave, you've talked about wanting to, stay within the system, not give up a lot. Well, in the second period, I think you only gave up 5 shots. In the first 10 minutes of the third, you'd only given up one, and really it was just off a face-off where they scored. What did you think of your team's play protecting the lead tonight?
I thought we were pretty solid. We weren't giving up a lot, and they got the one face-off goal that just a good quick draw. But we weren't giving up a lot, which is we have to continue to improve in that area. And it's not just checking, not just it's our play without the puck, but also our play with the puck, the ability to make good plays, not turn the puck over at the wrong places on the ice, and play in the offensive zone. And if we continue to improve those things, it gives us a better chance to win.
Can you talk about the offensive production you're getting from your back end? Obviously, Nurse and Barry are doing a lot, but Kulikov with a really nice assist on the Cahoon goal. And, Bear and Jones, you've really asked those guys to engage offensively even more. Just how important is the offense from your back end being to the success of your team?
I think it's a must-have in today's NHL. You have to have people that have the ability to join the rush, walk the blue line in the offensive zone, get pucks through, and we encourage our guys to make sure that we're up on every rush. And there's a time and place for everything. You can't get reckless with it, but we encourage our D that they have to be part of the offense, just like we encourage our forwards that have to be part of the defense. So for the most part, our group has been very solid back there, led by Nursey and Barry, who have been really, really good for us in adding offense from the back. But our group is, our group's been pretty solid, and as long as we keep our goals against down, we like the contributions they're making from the offensive side of the game.
Terry Jones, Post Media.
Curious about your observations with the rest of the night in the NHL. On the night you guys get your X beside Edmonton in the standings, Winnipeg loses a seventh straight, and Montreal comes up with this kid Cole Caulfield, who has his first two goals in the NHL are overtime winners, and all of a sudden they're both tied for that last playoff spot. For the last two playoff spots behind you.
Yeah, you're watching what's going on in the league, but there's, we'll continue to monitor that. But coming in today's game, I thought our players' spirits were really good. We talked about we needed that 1 point to secure our spot, so we were very focused on what we had to do to make sure we got the X beside our name. And but you continue to watch what's going on, and obviously you're going to have an opponent in the playoffs, so we'll continue to watch that and see how it pans out.
Thank you.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Dave, I thought this was maybe Nugent Hopkins' best all-around game. What did you think of him driving that second line?
Yeah, he was excellent, all parts of the game. It was there wasn't a lot of special teams in it, but that line was really strong tonight. Really strong. They got rewarded with a goal. He was solid in the face-off dot. I'm sure he'd like the one that they scored on, but he was solid the whole night. That was a very strong game by him in that line.
And what did you think of Tyler Ennis, who hadn't played in several weeks?
Yeah, he brings good energy. He's he's smart with the puck and that. So we'll see how that goes. We'll try to get him a couple games here and get him back up and running. We're going to try to look at a few players. Just it's hard with the call-up situation that we have to monitor where we at. But we had Haas and Shore banged up a little bit, so we got a couple. We got Ennis in there and we got JJ back. So we'll see where it goes. I'd like to continue to find some games for some guys just to make sure everybody's ready, but we'll monitor that as we go on day by day here.
And Haas and Shore, are they out tomorrow as well?
They'll be questionable for tomorrow. I don't think Haas would be ready to play for sure. Shore would